I mean, first off, I don't feel responsible to take up for my dad. He's a grown man. He could do his own thing. But in this regard, I just simply don't agree with it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Please do support us by dropping a comment, liking, and subscribing. So JJ Redick doesn't want to hear any more excuses from Milwaukee Bucks coach Doc Rivers. While appearing on ESPN's Fast Take, Redick didn't shy away from criticizing his former coach, who spoke during All-Star Weekend about the difficulties of coming in mid-season to take someone else's job. Rivers was hired in late January after the Bucks fired Adrian Griffin, and since then, the Bucks have won only 3 games. I said this before and I'm going to say it again. The Bucks made the biggest mistake hiring Doc Rivers. He's not a good coach, especially in the playoffs. He does not adjust well. I totally agree with JJ Redick on this. Former NBA player Rashid Wallace also said the same thing. He can't adjust. I actually don't think the Bucks will get to the Eastern Conference Final. Doc Rivers' son Austin Rivers responded to JJ Redick. Let's listen to him. And please support us. Our target is only 100 likes. Drop a comment and subscribe as well.
I mean, first off, I don't feel responsible to take up for my dad. He's a grown man. He could do his own thing. But in this regard, I just simply don't agree with it. For someone who's not accountable, he seems to always be held responsible, considering he's the guy that's always fired when things don't go right. He got fired in the bubble for a 3-1 lead versus the Denver Nuggets, which in half his team didn't want to be there. They had players saying that their mind wasn't there. He had guys leave. That happened. Then he gets fired for losing to a team that was favored over him, which was the Celtics last year. It seems like he's always responsible. It's just strange coming from JJ. And I have some love for JJ. You're my dookie. You know that. You're my bro. I love you. It's just your best years were with the Clippers. I don't think he saved your career. I appreciate you, Pat. But I don't think this just seems a little bit weird. They're 3-7. Dame has missed most of those games. Middleton's missed a lot of those games. They haven't even had their full team yet. We'll see what happens. The pressure is there. They do have to perform. But in terms of accountability, like, what are we doing here? Your best years in the NBA were when you played for him in the Clippers. Let's not forget that. I don't know if there's like frustration there or there's tension there between you. I know a lot of times we had to sit you towards the end of the game due to defensive reasons, but you had your best years as a starter there, especially our whole system was drafted around you because you're a shooter. You're not a guy who could put the ball on the floor. You were a strictly shoot guy. You're not like Klay Thompson or Steph who could put the ball on the floor. You're a guy who could catch and shoot, and you did it at a high level. Hell of a career, by the way. Big fan. But your best years were under him. It's just very ironic and kind of weird that you have this energy towards him in terms of him never, ever being accountable, considering he's always been responsible. That would be my response.
I've seen the trend for years.
What's the trend?
The trend is always making excuses. Doc, we get it. Taking over a team in the middle of the season is hard. It's hard. We get it. Just like getting traded in the middle of the season is hard for a player. We get it. Mm-hmm. But it's always an excuse. It's always throwing your team under the bus. They lose to Memphis. Oh, it's his players' fault. Memphis was playing G League guys and two-way guys. And then you look at his quotes over the weekend. Now he wants to take credit for the James Harden trade to the Clippers working out. He wants credit for that. There's never accountability with that guy. Well, there's never accountability.
Well, let me say a couple of things. Number one, that's a very serious thing to say, and we should take it serious because we should take it serious.
You can take it serious.
He seemed pretty serious.
Let me finish. We should take it serious because you played for him. So for you to say something like that, it matters. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to say this. Because Doc Rivers needs to hear, and I got love for him, but he needs to hear this, okay? Just go out there and coach. Because here's the deal. You were playing an advisor's role in Milwaukee, and all of a sudden now you're the head coach. People haven't brought that up. And the more you talk about how difficult this is, the more it brings attention to, wait a minute. Nobody's trying to hear that. You got the job, go win. Go win. Yeah. It's just that simple because it didn't happen in LA all of those years with the Clippers. It didn't happen. Didn't happen in Philadelphia. And now, I've said this, JJ, the second he got the job. If Doc Rivers doesn't, I'm not talking about this season because he came in there halfway through, but if Doc Rivers between this year and next season doesn't win, I think it'll be his last head coaching job in the NBA.